On behalf of the Chief of Police and the entire investigative bureau of the Albany Police Department, we are proud to announce that we have made one arrest of many in the Nigel homicide case.
First of all, I want to say thank God. Thank Albany Police Department for doing what they have done to solve this case. It's not the end, it's just the beginning, and I ask still for all prayers. If you know something, say something. If you know anything, just call in and give us some more information and just keep us lifted up in your prayers.
This is Pining, a podcast about solving some of Southwest Georgia's biggest mysteries. I'm your host, Jamie Worsley, bringing you this breaking news episode after we learned this morning that one person has been arrested in connection to the homicide of 9-year-old Nigel Brown. Nigel was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting 3 years ago. He was asleep in his bed at the time of his death. Investigator Terrence Bryant with the Albany Police Department made the announcement this morning, surrounded by then 9-year-old Nigel Brown's family. His mother, Yolanda Brown, also talked about what this means for her son's case.
The individual that has been arrested, Garnardrick Pittman, a 35-year-old male, we received a tip in reference to this case. Due to diligent investigative strategies that we have made, we were able to ascertain this individual. I am proud to announce this due to the fact that this family has been through a traumatic ordeal, losing their child. Any child that loses their life at the hands of someone else is a tragic incident, and we here at the Albany Police Department do everything that we can do to try to bring these cases to a close.
Just no words can really explain it. His life was taken for no reason, and it's hard. He's not here, but I know he's smiling down on us.
This is not the only high-profile cold case that Albany Police Department has made arrests in the past few years. In fact, just last April, a cold case that was 13 years old finally saw movement. Take a listen to a news report we did at the time.
It's been 13 long years, and I want the killer caught. That's what Katie Freeman said this past February when Albany police said they had new leads in the murder of her mother, Yolanda Roundtree. Now, Yolanda's family knows a little bit more information.
Albany Police Department arrested and charged Annie Dolores Fritz today with the murder of Yolanda Roundtree, who was 46 at the time of her murder. On November 9th, 2009, Roundtree was found stabbed to death in her apartment by Freeman, her daughter. Fritz has since been taken to the Dougherty County Jail.
APD has not released any information about a potential motive, but did tell the public that new DNA evidence would be tested back in February.
A series of arrests in another high-profile case involving a child from Albany was also announced by the GBI. Here's another WALB report.
35 years ago, a little girl's body was discovered encased in concrete in a wooded area in Ware County. Just last year, WALB News 10 reported the GBI still had hopes of finding her family.
As WALB News 10's Ashanti Isaac reports, just 1 month after that story aired, the GBI got a tip that they needed to break this case.
New DNA technology, along with the help of the community, allowed investigators to identify baby Jane Doe as 5-year-old Kenyatta Odom. Kenyatta's remains were found in the woods encased in a TV cabinet with concrete. Based on evidence at the crime scene, an Albany connection was made.
There was a newspaper near the area where Kenyatta was found, and that was just sort of a cursory indication that perhaps Albany might be involved.
In 2022, using information that had been obtained from genealogy research based on DNA results, we were able to confirm a family connection in Albany, Georgia.
Then being able to literally track that down to the exact mother and the boyfriend that she lived with at the time. This is a classic case. This is an example case of where forensics and solid investigative work come together.
Cold case files often go unsolved, but Secret says the work is always ongoing as new technology is introduced and new tips are given.
These cases are not forgotten. And just because you don't see us out there actively working out in the public does not mean that that work is not being done. That work is being done every day by a dedicated group of agents along with the local investigators that they work with.
Evelyn Odom and Ulysses Sanders will both be tried on several charges, including murder in Dougherty County.
While today's announcement does bring renewed hope for the Albany Police Department, investigator Terrence Bryant still is working about 24 cold cases, including the case of missing Albany woman Jessica Van Zant Dietzel.
Normally, if a case has gone cold roughly 6 months or longer, normally they'll turn their case over to me. I'll go back through the entire case file. I'll read all reports that has been generated in the case. I'll go back and make contact with any witnesses, any suspects, so forth and so on, any family members that may possibly have had information. I'll gather that information, I'll come back and I'll sift through it, and I'll start a whole new investigation on that particular case. This case was turned over to me to look into to see if we were able to find out where Jessica is, and every time something comes in, we'll go out and investigate it to see if there's any validity to this. Maybe a couple of weeks ago, we received some more information. In the very near future, we're going to look at another location site where we received information where Jessica may be. But that's where we are at this point.
Earlier today, I spoke with Jessica's mom about the new breaks in Nigel's case and what kind of hope it brings for her as well. Christina, I have to say, when I got the email that there was going to be an emergency press conference, I was really hopeful, emailed back immediately, could this be related to Jessica? What, you guys had mentioned you were going to do a search pretty soon. Was there something found? And unfortunately, it wasn't her time. It wasn't her case they were talking about today, but maybe we're not far off from that.
Exactly. I hope and I pray. The not knowing's pretty rough. We need to have closure and know what happened.
Jessica would have celebrated her 26th birthday this past July. This upcoming weekend, another family from right here in South Georgia is celebrating a grim milestone in their daughter's disappearance. But like Jessica's family and Nigel's family, even as the years pass by, LaCambria's family also holds on to hope.
A sense of warmness came across me for all other cases, and that further let me know that help is on the way towards all these other cold cases. And when it came down to my daughter case and Nigel case, I know within Nigel case, they've been looking for closure, peace, and justice. So at the same time, I feel the same way about my daughter. I know that time is getting near now. I know time is getting near. To all families that surround our counties, don't give up on your loved one. Continue to fight for your loved one. Don't matter what you have to do to get closure and justice, you do it.
You can read more about Nigel, Jessica, and LaCambria's cases on WALB.com. Anyone with information about their cases should contact law enforcement.